I am Eomac. I make electronic music of many different styles. I'm involved in a duo called Lacquer with Arad. I'm also involved in a duo called Know Everything with Layer. And I run a label called Tracks. Yeah, the Bedouin Tracks album I did with Bedouin Records was the last album that I put out in 2016. And before that I did the Spectre album on Kill la Kill. And I think around the Spectre album time I was making a lot of techno records and doing like 12 inches that were aimed at club music, aimed at the dance floor. And then Bedouin Tracks was a departure a bit from that, kind of stylistically and also sonically. It was based around samples of Arabic music from all over different parts of the Arabic world, from like music from Morocco to Iran, Iraq, and yeah, it was entirely based off samples, so there were no synth sounds at all in that album. It was just based off samples that the Bedouin Records label sent to me, a bunch of like 2 gigs of samples from all over the different parts of the Arabic world, which was hugely inspiring just to listen to this music and hear it, but then to go through and take the samples was an amazing process for me. So that was, yes, maybe a departure kind of like in the way I worked and stylistically and sonically as well. But I loved working that way and it was really an inspiring project to work on. So that kind of informed this new album that I'm about to release in April, which is again entirely sample based, but it's more samples of my own voice, samples of different drum kits from around the world. I've sampled the Irish Baron quite a lot, which is a small handheld percussion instrument that you play with a little, not with your fingers, but with a little stick that looks like that's got 2 ends on it, and you hold the drum in this hand and you play it like this. So just to take the idea a bit further, personalize it a bit using my own voice and using instruments and sounds from my own culture, from my own Irish background as well. Stylistically develop it further in terms of the rhythms. I started in Bedouin Tracks using different types of rhythms and influences. It wasn't just like a techno or a 4/4 kind of record. There was lots of different rhythmical styles as well. I think there's like something in like traditional ways of doing things or traditional cultures and musics like folk music and traditional music that, I don't know, there's just a humanity in it that speaks to me, and it feels like the more you explore different music is my way in, but I'm sure it's there in other art forms as well. When you start to explore different musics from different parts of the world, you start to see a lot of similarities in terms of the way the music is put together, maybe even in terms of like some of the melodic gestures or the motifs used in how the music is composed is quite similar. Like I've heard similarities in Irish traditional music and music from Asia. You can hear these things. They're very similar things in the music and similar intentions. I think folk music is very earthy and very about like real life and what's around people, and I think that's quite the same for everybody all over the world. So I think for me, seeing those connections between all different cultures points towards a shared humanity between all people, and that for me is really inspiring, and it's something I personally want and need in my life, and I feel we need it globally at the moment to focus on the connections rather than the disconnections that are there. So yeah, I'll be doing 2 shows for Krake Festival this year, one in Geneva and one in Berlin. And the one in Geneva will be, both of them will be live sets. The one in Geneva will be more club orientated, more maybe traditionally dance floor focused set. Mostly new material, lots of tracks that I've been working on over the last year but it won't be the new album tracks. That's quite a specific sound. So the new album Reconnect that I'm putting out on Eotracks in April will be the live show I'm doing in Berlin, in Krake in Berlin, and it will be an AV show. I put together an AV show with an amazing Irish visual artist called Sal Stapleton. She is amazing. Yeah. She directed the Temple of the Jaguar video that I put out at the start of last year. Sal has, we've shot loads of footage similar to the Temple of the Jaguar video. I wanted to take that idea of really expressing my sound through my own body, and I wanted to take that further than just the Temple of the Jaguar video. So now I've developed a whole hour-long AV show around that idea, using the body and kind of fleshing that out even more into a full-on AV show. Not just in music, but I think in society and in all cultures there's a need for spirituality. The word puts people off, or I think the word spirituality is very loaded. It means so many different things to different people, and I think what we see as spirituality, one person might have the same perspective but just call it science. I think there are different ways of viewing the world, but I think we're all trying to get to some sort of place of truth, or some sort of thing that makes sense and gives us purpose, maybe, or and I think that's I think it's I don't know what it is. It's really difficult to talk about. It's something that has been talked about since people have talked. This idea of is there something more than just this moment? And for me, I think there is. There's more than we can see or feel physically, and I think that's what spirituality is.